This is a beautiful, beautiful afternoon, y'all. It's not too hot. We got to give it up for the King Band, the Soul Train of Chicago. Thank you all for coming out and starting this off and kicking it off the right way. I first have to say thank you. Thank you to everybody for being here. When there are spaces that are filled with love, that actively heals our community. Very important to notice and mention moments like this because we deserve in our community more moments like this one right now. I have to first thank my mother, who is here, for creating a fearless woman. Without that base and foundation of her and my father, I wouldn't be here today. Because you know, in this community, we hear a lot of no's, and at some point, we need to make our own yeses. This space is making our own yes. I also want to thank Alderman Dow for being a visionary. Alderman Dow chose this space, provided mentorship, and believed in me and this space before anybody else would. There is no better advocate for this community of Bronzeville than Alderman Pat Dow, and that was why I would not want to do it anywhere else for Southside Sanctuary than in her ward. She has protected this community for years, and we are so lucky to have her. I also want to thank the Department of Planning, Mary O'Connor, who's been here with me since day one, and Frank. I think it's important to know that downtown we have people who advocate for every community. We have an incredible administration. Sierra Boatwright and Kenya Merritt are here now as well. It's so nice to know that there are people who are looking out for our community, and please do not take that for granted. There are not many communities in this country that have people from the places and spaces where we are from. Use them, they are your advocates, and speak up for what you need. Because if you don't speak up, nobody else will speak up for you. If there's something that you see needs to be changed in your community, don't think somebody else is gonna do it. Don't ask somebody else for something, do it yourself. Go down to City Hall, write a letter, write an email, and express what you did. But don't just express what you need, make a plan to get it done. If you can't get it done yourself, find somebody else that can help you. I also want to thank everybody who has worked tirelessly with me on this process. Thank you to Future Firm, my absolute favorite architect in the city who I've done many projects with. Thank you, Ann and Craig and Roland and Linda, who I call every morning at 4 a.m., who also lives in this neighborhood. Thank you to Nation Builders, James Webb and his team. When every other GC said no because this project didn't have a big enough budget, Nation Builders says yes. Thank you to Tennille, who is our project manager, who kept this open on time. We got grass, we got flowers, we got a gate to keep us safe, we've got art walls. And thank you to our entire team. Our team is made up of an incredible group of individuals. We have Jasmine Michaels, who is incredible and, again, a founder and really helped us to integrate all of the integrative wellness programming and thinking about health and wellness and carefulness first of mind. We also have McCaffrey, who also owns Fortune House, who oversees all of our arts and culture programming. Thank you to Marquand Jones of Chicago Fashion Coalition, who is a visionary in his own right and really sees us being able to cross-collaborate and cross-pollinate with other parts of the city. So many incredible people on our team. And I would be remiss if I didn't say thank you to Nicole Humphreys, who is an incredible producer. Y'all haven't checked out Nah Create, one of the best production companies in the country, I would argue, as well as Black Girls Shred. She looks out not only for our community, but she looks out for people all over. So thank you so much for keeping us on time, keeping me on time. I couldn't have done this without you. I also want to say, when we think about designing space, for those of you who haven't been to Bronzeville Winery, that's my nighttime job. Bronzeville Winery inspired me to create more space in our community. I wanted to design more spaces that made us feel excited, that we could come together to celebrate, that other people could come from other parts of the city, have an incredible experience and say, that wasn't what I read about Bronzeville. It's important for us to change the narrative, and this space will do that. We had incredible amounts of community input from Mr. Cornell from the community and all the other people who live on these blocks from 47th, 48th, King Drive during our stakeholder meetings. We will continue to do those stakeholder meetings on a monthly basis. This space is ever changing. This space will always take community input. So if you see something that you want change, if you see something that you want to input, if you want to be a part of this, we want to continue to take that input from our community. The spaces can only be as good as our community is, and this is a community and a group effort. We want it to be as collaborative as possible. I think the biggest thing is that I wanted to create a space that made us all feel like we were deserving. There are amenities in other communities across the city that we don't have in our communities. We need a space to come together. We need a space to have farmers markets. We need a space to have a marching band as incredible as King Prep to be able to play. And when the Bud Billiken parade comes by, we don't need another empty lot. We need this so that we can sit in the grass, read a book, meet your neighbor, and feel like a community. That's what creates a place where people call a home instead of a place where people just own. That's also a way that we feel pride in our communities, and we wanted to create a space and design a space that allowed us to feel proud of our neighborhood as much as we know that Alderman Dow has felt proud of Bronzeville community and fought for this community to be a thriving and beacon of the city of Chicago and the Southside, the same way it was in the 30s, the 40s, the 50s, when every single building on this whole row had a business that was thriving. It is up to us to kind of continue that tradition. I last want to say that this space was really created to drive safety. Safety for ourselves, we need to take care of each other. Safety for economics and the economic viability of all the businesses in the row. When we open this space, I want to know that Cliff Rome from Peaches, who is a mentor, a friend, and always motivating me, I want to know that his people are making money across the street. I want to know that when people come to this space, they know that they can go down the street to Mount Pisgah where they've got an incredible ballet camp that my nieces went to. There are too many businesses in this community that don't have enough foot traffic, and by creating this space, we don't want people to just come here and go home. We want people to come here. We want them to go to every single incredible business on the block because each one of those businesses has a story. And the last point is safety and community. It is very important for us to take care of each other. So this is me taking my first step of taking care of my community. This took a lot of hours, y'all. I am tired. So my challenge to you is, please take care of each other. Take care of this space. Let it motivate you to do something similar. When you see somebody who needs help, Bronzeville is a community. If there's no one else that's going to take care of us except for us, please take care of this space and please take care of each other. Thank you. I was supposed to welcome a very incredible guest, Mr. Pamone Ramey.
Hello, everyone. So fresh, so clean. Can you hear me okay? Check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we got it. Hello, everyone. Anytime you come into a space and you have a group of incredible young people opening up with spirit and energy, you got to say thank you. So I enjoyed that band. Give them a hand. They are the ones that will be up here next. They are the ones that are in line to return Bronzeville to its traditional greatness. And we love you for it. We love the instructors that are working with you to get you here and to motivate you to continue to share with the community in which you find yourselves. Before I begin, I'd like to thank Cecilia for inviting me to give this historical talk about the area. Alderman Dow, my favorite alderman in the entire city. And I'm not just saying it because she's here, because it's true. It is really, really true. I also would like to acknowledge my wife, Masekwa. We have been married for 49 years. We have been business partners for 56. And my son and his family, Takuma, Naima, and the baby Dies, and Harold. Raised right there. So thank you all for being here. Welcome to Bronzeville, where I was born in Providence Hospital, and raised at 56 in Prairie, between Prairie and Indiana. My father came to Chicago during the Great Migration from Oklahoma. My mother came in from Jackson, Mississippi. They met at the Thin Shell Candy Company, which was on 47th and Ashland, making peppermint candy. He was making the red and she was making the white. They looked through this window and said, "We getting married." And that's why I'm standing here. So I'd like to, in my brief talk today, I'm calling upon you to use your imagination, to turn on your senses, and to go back with me. And if you close your eyes, you might be able to feel the jitney cabs that were passing from 35th Street to 55th. They cost 25 cents per passenger, and you would crowd in and you would get where you had to go. That was the original Uber till it was taken out of our community. Can you see the flashing bulbs at the electric photo company and studio that was on 47th Street, where our folks from the South would go to get their first suits, where they would go to get their first photo taken? Scotty Piper was the dancing tailor, and he made suits for Jack Johnson, for Duke Ellington, Cab Calloway, Count Basie, Louis Armstrong, Harold Washington, Sam Cooke, my grandfather, and my great-grandfather. Most of the pictures that we see are of us coming out of the South, those of us that migrated from the fields. But when you look at the photos that were taken at the Electric Photo Company, you saw our pride. You saw the new world that was being created in Chicago and in this community. Can you hear? And if you listen really closely, you might be able to hear Langston Hughes rehearsing his play at the Good Shepherd Center, which was at 51st and Parkway, which is now King Drive, before he went to New York. And if you listen even closer, you might hear the Jackson 5, the Temptations, Cab Calloway, James Brown, the 5 stair steps at the Regal Theater, which was directly across the street. Can you hear it? Can you listen? Can you tune in? If you take a deep breath and you were living over here, you would smell the bread coming out of the Butterfield Bakery that was on 55th. But if you turned a little farther north, you would get the stench of the stockyards. So we would wake up to bread, and we would go to sleep to pigs and hogs being slaughtered. But that was Chicago, and that was Bronzeville. If you listen and take a look, you would see the Jackson 5, the Temptations, Cab Calloway, James Brown, all of these people wrapping around in this community at the Forum on 43rd, the Forum that was once the epicenter of Black life in Chicago and was hosting movement meetings and live performances for well-renowned artists from around the country. Can you imagine sitting in Washington Park at the Forum and listening to the speeches and debates of W.B. Du Bois, Langston Hughes, Hammurabi Robb, and Paul Robeson at the historic Forum? The Club de Lisa, the Rum Boogie, the Savoy Ballroom. The Savoy was the dance hall, the center of Chicago's nightlife. It was also the place that the Savoy Five got their start, and they ultimately became known as the Harlem Globetrotters. But they were the starting 5 from Wendell Phillips High School and the Savoy Ballroom. And Abe Saperstein said the reason he called them the Harlem Globetrotters was because that if they were called the Chicago Globetrotters, they would not have known that they were black. So they stuck Harlem on it. But they were from here. They were the homegrown boys. When the Beatles arrived to Chicago and the Rolling Stones, where did they go? They came to 47th Street. They went to Teresa's. They came to hear what was happening in the black music in Chicago and were motivated for their careers moving forward. And after a night out in Bronzeville, in the morning, you would smell the biscuits from Gladys's. And if any of you are the 80 Gladyses or know, people from all over the world will come in just for those biscuits. And they were incredible. It was in Bronzeville that black visual artists and performing artists created works to improve how we would feel about ourselves and each other. Remember the Wall of Respect? Remember the Wall of Truth at 43rd and Langley? They were monuments to our heroes. And walking through Bronzeville, you might cross paths with Sam Greenlee, Oscar Brown Jr., Mahalia Jackson, Muhammad Ali, Lorraine Hansberry, Gwendolyn Brooks, Shaka Khan, The Emotions, Earth, Wind and Fire, or maybe just some boys selling Jet magazine. Because that was a place that a number of us went to find jobs when we were young. You can still hear it if you listen. You can still see it and feel the creative magic of Bronzeville if you look. I want to give praise for the work that is being done here, for the work that the younger generations have taken on, to Cliff Rome, to Eric, to Cecilia, to Bernard, to Paula, to all of those folks that are committed to making sure that we return this community to its traditional greatness. It deserves praise. You deserve praise. The politicians that are stepping up to restore this community deserve praise, but they also deserve your support. They also need you to be their backbone. They need you to stand behind them and hold them up so that they can give back to you what so many people have given to us. I'm turning this over to Dilla, the next historian, to step in and continue this fight. Give him a hand. Thank you.
I actually thought Cece liked me, but you made me follow that. And that's a little unfair. One more time for Brother Paymoon. My name is Dilla. I'm a Chicago historian, and I lead Chicago Mahogany Tours. And every single day I remind myself that I walk on sacred ground because I'm following the footsteps of gentlemen like that and people like Tamil Black and people like Dempsey Travis, who all call this place home. And while I'm always talking about the history of Bronzeville, I'm very much reminded about what's going on now in Bronzeville. I'm very honored that in Bronzeville, if you go just down the street, a brother named Andre has a world-class art gallery that's open right now in Bronzeville. I'm very happy to be in association with who I call Miss Cece, who runs Bronzeville Winery in conjunction with a brother by the name of Eric Williams. And while they have the best mushroom flatbread anyone has ever eaten, what you need to know is that establishment is responsible for about $500,000 worth of tax revenue for the businesses that surround Bronzeville Winery, right? And that's important too. I'm very honored to take tours through Bronzeville where I get to show off Sip and Savor, a business owned by a black man that lives in Inglewood, but he does his business in Bronzeville. And he's doing that business in a historic building, the Rosenwald Courts, which took a lot of dedication right now to have restored. I'm very honored to be in Bronzeville because in that same building, a brother by the name of Yaya has the best homemade ice cream you can find in Chicago at Sean Michelle. And every time I come down what we now call King Drive, I think about those bronze sculptures that acknowledge that we're in the Blues District. But they also acknowledge that we're living in a time of musical innovation right now as well, because what used to be the Regal is now the Harold Washington Culture Center, and history is being made in that space too. We're right here in Bronzeville, down the street from Corpus Christi, which is a place where countless weddings and baptisms and sadly funerals took place. But for every life that goes on, new beginnings happen in Bronzeville, and that's what we're doing right now. We're taking a part of a new beginning that's taking place in a beautiful neighborhood called Bronzeville. Every single day, I say that everything dope about America comes from Chicago, and that's because it's an absolute historical fact. You're in the neighborhood that gave jazz its name. You're in the neighborhood that electrified the blues. You're in the neighborhood that created a thing called the gospel blues. You're in a neighborhood that has Miss Cece doing God's work for spaces like this to be here for future generations. I am very honored that this place is here because in about a week and a half, I'm going to have delegates from the DNC on my bus. And those policymakers need to know what a neighborhood that's been redlined look like. They need to know what a neighborhood that's suffering from food apartheid look like. But they also need to know what black joy looks like. And so we're going to pull the bus over right there, and they're going to get their important butts off of my bus, and we're going to stand in this space, and we're going to feel the energy of generations of black folks that have gone on to change the world. And so, really honored to be taking just a small part in this very historic and momentous occasion. I want to shout out who I call my big sister, Alderman Pat Dow. When you meet the alderman, she's stoic because she's always busy and thinking about what's next for her community. But when she knows that you care about the community, that's when you get that smile. And so I'm very honored to be here with you, very honored to be here with the Deputy Mayor and, of course, Ms. Boatwright, who's doing amazing things in our city. I want to shout out our Mayor, Brandon Johnson, who I call the blackest mayor in history, right? Sometimes you want him to blame our youth, but he's never going to start with the now. He's going to talk about how we ended up in these spaces. And when you acknowledge that something was historically wrong, you're able to correct it, like what's happening right now. Shout out all the small vendors that are out here doing their thing. And don't let just today be the last day you support those vendors. When the cameras are not out here today, I want to see you over at Peaches, eating peach French toast. Yeah, right, because that place matters. I want to catch you down the street at Pearls, because Pearls matters. I want to see you on 51st Street. I want to see you in line down the street just off of Indiana in a place called Pookie Crack Cakes. You better get there early because the line is always long, but that's all right. Continue to support Bronzeville and continue to change the narrative because we do have safe and important spaces in Chicago, and you're standing in one of them. Thank you very much. At this point, I do want to bring up the very esteemed Alderman Pat Dow. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you, Sherman. He's right. I am stoic. I call myself a workhorse, not a show horse. But I'm glad to be here to celebrate the opening of Southside Sanctuary. It's great to be in the heart of Bronzeville. 47th and King Drive is our heart. And over the past few months, many people have walked up to me or called me or emailed me and said, well, what's going on 47th Street? What is that? And I have to tell you, I struggled to be able to describe it. I wasn't surprised by the interest because this lot has been vacant for almost 20 years. But I did struggle to explain what this was. And so I said, you just have to experience it. And so I know you guys are experiencing it today, and you know what this is. I want to thank Mayor Brandon Johnson and Commissioner Boatwright for investing in this historic neighborhood and this gathering place. This is a gathering place not just for our residents, but also for visitors to our community. I want you to know that this is a catalyst for a lot of things that are going to be happening on 47th Street. Right now, as you can see, we're putting in a streetscape that's going to go from Prairie all the way to Cottage Grove. Around this corner, we're currently vetting a senior center and also housing for the LGBTQ community. Down the street on Vincennes, we're vetting through the Department of Planning and Development in the mayor's office a mixed-use housing and commercial development, 2 projects on that corner. So there's a lot in store for us, and I just want to thank Mayor Johnson and the administration for their support and investment. I also want to thank Mary O'Connor. I don't know where Mary is. Mary, thank you for answering all the questions I had and for getting me to Cecilia's vision. I thought this corner was ripe for some brick and mortar, but that's not always the best way. Sometimes you have to rejuvenate the heart of the community, the spirit of the community, the passion that the community has for this area. And so I want to thank Mary and her team. But I really want to thank and acknowledge Cecilia Cuff and her team. When I think about Cecilia, I think about black girl magic with the Midas touch. And Cecilia, I just want to thank you for the care and thoughtfulness that you brought to this project, the way you thought it through, the way you planned it, the way you went beyond. You know, sometimes people come in this community, they fly in, they want to do stuff, but they don't want to talk to us. They just want to do. You spent the time talking to the neighbors, talking to Mr. Hunter, talking to Ms. Scott, Mr. and Mrs. Scott, talking to the business owners, talking to people far and wide in this community. And because you did this, you made this project better, and I thank you for that. I want to thank you for your vision, your spirit of community. And when I think of community, you think of it the same way, which is common unity, bringing people together. And I just want to thank you for your innovation. This is, as Sherman said, this is dope. It is my hope that this space will, as Cecilia said, be protected and cherished and enjoyed by the people who live in the community and who visit this community. In this space, I hope that we can expose, express, and expand our culture. Thank you, Cecilia, for all your hard work. And with that, I want to introduce the baddest planning commissioner in the city of Chicago, the state of Illinois, and in the United States of America, and the whole daggone world, Commissioner Sierra Boatwright.
Good afternoon. So I'm absolutely thrilled to help celebrate this wonderful addition to Bronzeville and what's been a decades-long journey towards a viable public use in now the Southside Sanctuary. The city actually acquired this site back in 1998 with the goal of making it available for redevelopment, including open space proposals that never took root due to a lack of financing and coordination. So it's absolutely thrilling to see this project come to life after so many good intentions. I want to credit Mayor Brandon Johnson for his steadfast support for projects like this through DPD's Public Outdoor Plaza program. Alderwoman Dow for her commitment, her partnership, and her expertise, and the entire project team for its community-first approach to urban placemaking. I can't think of a better place to showcase the pop-related investment than right here on the historic Boulevard system at 47th and King Drive, where vendor spaces, public art, landscaping, and performance areas are already providing synergies that underscore what it means to live, work, and play in the heart of Grand Boulevard. I want to congratulate all the project partners for their vision and execution, especially the I Am Your Village team, Oasis, the Nascent Group, Black Girl Shred, Fortune House, Future Firm, Nation Builders Construction Group, the Chicago Community Trust, of course, Cecile and Jasmine. I want to recognize my incredible team at DPD for making this work possible through a $710,000 grant for construction, especially Mary O'Connor, Frank Krijak, and Aaron Shipley. The investments represent a true public-private partnership that was led by the community for the community. So thanks to each and every one of you for keeping the spirit of Bronzeville alive and well by using this space today and every day. And now, it's my pleasure to introduce the man of the hour, our leader, our mayor, Mayor Brandon Johnson.
Wow, well, good afternoon. Wow, this is beautiful. What an incredible sight on this wonderful day in Chicago. Thank you to our Commissioner Boatwright. Do me a favor, since we're in the habit of celebrating Black women, let's continue to celebrate this sister, Commissioner Sierra Boatwright. I am thrilled to celebrate the opening of the city's newest pop with all of you all. Thank you to the Kennedy King College Prep Marching Band, St. Sabina's Children Choir, Young Chicago authors Paman Ramey, and of course, Dilla, who always brings the soul of Chicago to his opening. And thank you to the city and community leaders who have made the Southside Sanctuary Pop possible. Your work and your love for this historic Bronzeville community is certainly felt all over the city. I'm grateful that together we can launch this beautiful space for young people, as well as community members as a whole, to gather year-round and access creative, entrepreneurial, and recreational programming. We have seen the power of these spaces to unite and uplift communities in 10 other pops across the south and west sides of the city. We've launched these programs through our community development program. Pop courts are highly awarded and recognized for having positive impacts on our communities. By bringing neighbors together in this space, we will spur foot traffic for local businesses, support our young people, and we will create safer communities. I look forward to seeing the benefits of this space serve the people of Bronzeville. And today, you all is just the beginning. Today is a demonstration of my administration's commitment to investing in the people of Chicago. These plazas are the result of our leveraging historic federal funding and through our Road to Recovery program. The funds are helping us to invest in young people, community safety, mental health and wellness, arts and culture, and more quality of life amenities for our communities. And furthermore, we are revitalizing communities with our $1.25 billion Housing and Economic Development Bond. It's the largest housing and economic development for our people in the history of Chicago. The bond enables us to build and preserve affordable housing, commercial development, and job opportunities throughout our city. I know that our South and West Side communities have been waiting for funding like this for our neighborhoods for a very long time. I'm reminded that just yesterday, you all, we cut the ribbon to the Damon Green Line station, filling a gap in transit access that has persisted since the original Damon station closed 76 years ago in 1948. Transformations like this one gives me the confidence that we are on the right path to reverse our city's history of disinvesting in our neighborhoods. The Green Line is the only line that touches the south and west sides of the city of Chicago. And our investment, not just in public transportation and connecting our people, but our investments in people and neighborhoods will continue until we ultimately achieve a better, stronger, and a much safer Chicago. I am thrilled about this Bronzeville Pop because it's bigger than just a safe space. It's a down payment and a sign and an indication that we are moving in a transformational direction, finally in the greatest freaking city in the world, the city of Chicago. And neighborhoods like Bronzeville get to be the catalyst of the very place that our people found refuge in this very community, looking for a better opportunity at life. And now we are carrying on the legacy of our ancestors. Doesn't it feel good to be a part of an entire group of people that never crack under pressure? Y'all gonna make me say it the real way. Aren't you glad that Bronzeville Black don't crack? And finally, in closing, I hope the people of Bronzeville take full advantage of this space. Let's make sure that the skills and the bonds that can be built only through us, that they become fortified. I hope that all of you here today will keep the momentum and continue to partner with me in my administration to invest in people. I promised I will do it, I'm doing it, and I need your help to make sure we continue to do that. Are you with me, Bronzeville? Come on now, I'm from the west side. I need you to pull down deep down in your soul. We're going to invest to transform this city. Are you with me, Bronzeville? So I look forward to the progress that we have made together, and I look forward to the work that we will continue to do in this moment. And with that, my time is up. I could talk to y'all all day, but there are other people here who are here to celebrate. And so everyone, please welcome Ms. Jasmine Michaels. God bless you all. God bless the greatest city in the world.
You know, as I'm looking around this incredible space right now, I am in awe of the amount of beauty that is in one open plaza. I have seen more hairstyles today than I have ever seen in my entire life, and every single one of them was giving. You know, when I decided to take a leap of faith and to co-found the Southside Sanctuary and take initiative with the fundraising process a couple of years ago, I was believing in something that I didn't truly know was possible. I had watched Cecilia trailblaze and show me what a Black woman could really do. And I was so inspired by her tenacity and hard work and compassion and love for community that I believed that I could also do that. And the process of emailing Mary, kind of scared, Mary O'Connor, about the first, grant application. Can we do this? Is this the right form? From that, to see how the community has pulled together to bring this to life has been a process that has changed the directory of everything I want to do. As we look around at each other, I hope that what we see in this space is potential. Potential for more spaces like this. Potential for us to pour into ourselves. This space is made possible because of every single community member who poured into making this happen. Linda, Ann, Frank, this was a team that made this possible. And it was every single community member who showed up to our stakeholder meetings, who told us what they wanted in a sanctuary space, who shared their struggles with mental health challenges, with loneliness, with anxiety, with depression, with losing friends to suicide, with challenges at work, challenges at home, divorce, all of these different things that community members are going through. This space is a healing space for those very real issues. This is not a space where we pretend to be perfect and perform perfection in front of one another. This is a space where we tap into our own potential to create sanctuary within ourselves. It's not always the person who comes up the most polished that might be doing the hardest work. And this is a space for us to pour back into who we are as individuals, as community members. I am so beyond honored to be part of this project. And my intention is that every single person leaves this space with the willingness to transform their own lives into a sanctuary. And I just want to take a couple of seconds to talk about what that really means. A sanctuary is a place where you're at peace within yourself. Point blank, period. Nobody can create a sanctuary for you. You create that within yourself by being in alignment with what the Most High means to you. That's not religious, that's not any particular denomination. That's within you and who you are. And my invitation to everybody who steps into this space is to understand what the road to recovery really means. The road to recovery is a healing process that begins within yourself. When you're healed, your community is healed. When you are a sanctuary, your community is an oasis. And that's what this is about. So for everybody who feels joy and inspiration in this space, I want to invite you, propose some programming. We would love to collaborate. If you want to do something in this space, reach out to our team. Reach out to Cecilia, to Nicole, who is the most incredible event producer. Reach out to this incredible team of community members who wants to see this happen. We're here to work with you. We're here to make this an opportunity for you to be uplifted because everybody in this space is needed for this to happen. And I just want to give special thanks to Alderman Dowell for entrusting us to be part of this space. As somebody who is not originally from Bronzeville, I understand that Bronzeville is a very strong community, okay? Y'all do not play about your community, period. And there's a reason for that. This community is powerful. It has character. It's guided by integrity. You stick together. And that's the type of thing that the world needs to see in times like this. And so I'm incredibly grateful. And I want to thank the donors and the foundations who were instrumental in making this possible. The Chicago Community Trust, thank you so much for pulling through at the last minute to really help us push this forward. Thank you to the DPD, to DCASE, to all of these organizations that have been part of this. And I just really want to invite Edwin Tobar up to share a couple of words about the CCT's processes and how they work and what they've done to make this possible. But let this really be an invitation for a continuation of sanctuary, not only in this space, but in our lives as community members. So thank you so much.
Hello, everybody. I just want to say I always love coming to Bronzeville. Your community is so inviting, so excited all the time, and just want to say thank you for that. I'm excited to be here today, celebrate the grand opening of Southside Sanctuary. Thank you to Cecilia, Mayor Johnson, and Commissioner Boatwright and Alderman Dowell for all the hard work that it took to get this project completed and for highlighting the need for our neighborhoods to be invested in. At the Chicago Community Trust, we believe that neighborhoods are the heartbeat of our city as they are the places where we live, work, and grow. Neighborhoods, especially those like Bronzeville, rich in history and culture, are a central part of our mission to close the racial and ethnic wealth gap and foster equitable development in the city of Chicago. Projects like this are important to that mission. Led by a diverse group of creatives, innovators, and community partners, this space is designed to uplift and unite people from all walks of life. It provides avenues to creative expression, business development, and recreation, ensuring that every member of the community has a place to thrive. Our decision to support this project reflects our commitment to investing in our city's neighborhoods. We see the Southside Sanctuary as a critical link between community and the built environment, fostering connections that drive both individual wealth and community wealth. By merging innovation and community impact, the Southside Sanctuary will not only enhance the physical landscape of Bronzeville, but also nurture the entrepreneurial spirit and creative energy of its residents. It will serve as a platform for community connection and wellness, ensuring that Bronzeville continues to flourish as a thriving, connected neighborhood. Today, as we celebrate this grand opening of this transformative space, We celebrate the power of community collaboration and the promise of opportunity. Let this plaza be a testament to what we can achieve when we come together with shared vision and common purpose. Thank you to everyone who played a role in making this project a reality. The Chicago Community Trust is proud to stand with you, and we look forward to witnessing the Southside Sanctuary's impact on Bronzeville and beyond. Congratulations to everybody on this awesome achievement. I would like now to invite to the stage founder and CEO of Polished Pebbles, Kelly Fair.
Good afternoon. I'm Kelly Fair, and I'm the founder of Polished Pebbles Girls Mentoring Program. I'm extremely proud to say we are now a 15-year-old nonprofit founded here in the city of Chicago. We serve girls and we focus on making sure that they're great communicators at home, great communicators at school, and great communicators for the future workplace. Now, 15 years later, we started right here in Bronzeville, our first schools, but we have after-school programs, 50 sites through 900 square miles of Chicagoland. We're in the south suburbs, the western suburbs. As far north as Albany Park, as far south as Altgeld Gardens, east and west, but as I stated, our start 15 years ago with girls was right here in Bronzeville. To make sure girls are great communicators, we focus on creating a career pipeline for girls. We play no games. We start with girls as young as 5th grade to make sure that they know communication skills are important, and what better place to do that but in their future workplaces. And so, absolutely. So essentially, we're pipelining. The career pipeline of Polished Pebbles moves girls from the schoolyards and prepares them with the skills, the experiences to move into the future boardrooms. But the Polished Pebbles career pipeline only comes to life because it's powered by people. It's powered by partnerships. It's powered by a partnership like the Southside Sanctuary. Just a year ago, the Southside Sanctuary started a partnership with Polished Pebbles, ensuring that 75 girls got internships in this space. 75 girls were able to experience workforce development experiences and job shadows, and they did it in the most dynamic, groundbreaking way. We're making sure through the Southside Sanctuary Partnership, they got to learn about careers in construction and architecture, the career fields that are humming for girls, black and brown, to enter those spaces. When they get a chance to work with the Southside Sanctuary, it's powered by great role models, like meeting the Deputy Mayor Kenya Merritt and Louis of the Future Firm, and working with the Illinois Ready Mix Concrete Association. They came to this space a year ago when it was just an empty lot, and they got to see how everything get powered and put together. So through our Every Girl's a CEO Summer Work Study program, girls got a chance, and you've seen them around in their pink sweaters. Give a shout out to our girls who are here finishing their summer internships, powered by spaces like the Southside Sanctuary. But I want to give a shout out to this pipeline only works with people. This pipeline only works with bad, fearless women. And there's 2 vanguards that had a definite impact with Polished Pebbles. 15 years ago, there was only one city official. 15 years ago, there was only one community leader who sowed the seeds of faith and says, I like what you're doing, I'll come out. And Pat Dow was that city leader. That was when we only had a handful of sites, and she came and visited our site at Dearborn Homes down the street, and she says, this is a thing. And 15 years later, she's passing that torch to a new vanguard, and that's Cecilia. Now, 50 sites later, she's making sure that career pipeline is popping. These girls are not only in grammar school learning about great careers, they're getting hands-on opportunities, but now they are a part of a leadership pipeline, and they're leading and moving in these spaces. Those two vanguards and these partners made sure that they showed us how to activate an empty space and make it powerful. Those two vanguards showed us how to activate an idea and bring our dreams into manifestation. And through being that bold and being that bad, you're showing a generation of girls, the next women, how to activate their own faith and activate their own hope. So I want to introduce you to one of these young ladies, that next generation. She'll be in the next boardroom. And that is one of our Polished Pebbles summer interns in the Every Girl's a CEO program, Makana. She has a few words.
Hi, my name is Makana Odo. Thank you so much to Kelly Fair, the CEO of Polished Pebbles, for this wonderful opportunity to speak with you all. I am so grateful for being a mentee and a Polished Pebbles ambassador and all that has come with it. I've had so many opportunities just like this to speak with you all. And last year, just like Kelly was saying, we had an internship, and it was where we could come and see the vision of this space. It was just land, okay? It was just an empty lot, but now we could really see the vision with everything that's been built here. And yeah, so I've learned so much, and I just want to say that this has inspired me and the rest of the CEOs, girls, so that we can know that we can achieve our goals and that we can be someone. And that's what I want to say. And I want to say thank you to Cecilia Cuff, Nicole Humphrey, and the entire Southside Sanctuary team for this opportunity and for this sense of community so everyone can be together. And congratulations on this wonderful achievement. Thank you.
Wasn't she wonderful? And thank you to the Southside Sanctuary for creating a space for young people to know what it is to speak. That used to be our churches, that used to be our schools, but now the Southside Sanctuary is an opportunity to practice. I mean, just practice in front of the whole mayor of the city. So we're grateful. And now we are very honored to bring up our next speaker, Makafui Circe.
Hello, hey everybody. Welcome to Southside Sanctuary. It's an honor to be here with y'all. A little bit about myself. My name is Makafui Circe. I'm the arts and culture leader here at the Sanctuary. I also own an art center on 44th and Cottage Grove called the Fortune House Art Center. And I am a 24-year resident of this neighborhood. I grew up right around the corner on 48th Street in Vincennes, and it has been an honor to be a part of this team and be a part of this process and building something that when I was taking the train, going to Harold Washington to U Media or going to, to Joe and Corey's spot in West Loop and Wicker, that I kind of wish I had something like here. And being able to, open an art center in my neighborhood and be a part of this has been a manifestation of what I think we need here. And so I feel blessed. A little bit, more into that story. I also attended King College Prep. So seeing Mr. Washington here, seeing the band here, like, I wasn't no big part of the band, but I did, used to have a little triangle in the back and everything. So, it means something. And to speak a little bit to our language here, we're in Bronzeville, but, my peoples, we call this the low end. And so, being able to, create a pillar here in this neighborhood means the world. And I'm just grateful and excited to see how our team at Fortune House, and our team here at Sanctuary brings our ideas to life. So we have a lot planned here today. We have a lot planned throughout the rest of the summer. We have Sunday farmers markets that we'll be doing here. We have artist marketplaces that we'll be doing here. We'll be inviting local vendors, art entrepreneurs, people with brands to bring their visions to life in public space. I think that's something that we often don't have the opportunity to do. We have a building, brick and mortar infrastructure going on here in the neighborhood, but we also need publicly accessible space. We're a 30-second walk from the train, and so what does it look like when you get off the train to swing through the Southside Sanctuary and maybe find out about a brand that you've never learned about before? And so we see this space being able to foster opportunities like those, where we can use this stage to bring in musicians of all different mediums, jazz, hip hop, whatever it looks like, to express themselves, to share their talent with the community, and honor those traditions specifically around art. Like we live in a neighborhood, as mentioned earlier, like so many greats, so many of the people that have inspired the culture have stepped through this neighborhood. And so for us to be a place that can carry on the tradition it's the work that's necessary. And again, I've been here since I was born, and so that 20-year vacancy that we talk about, when I walked to the train, when I was walking to King, like I was imagining, like, instead of this being a vacant lot, what could this be? And so when Cecilia, reached out to me about a year and a half ago as neighbors, we're 2 doors down from the winery, so she saw what we were doing next door and trusted our vision to contribute to building the arts culture here. So the art that you see on this stage and the perimeters of the fences, we were able to administer a public art commission with DKs, who provided incredible guidance and support and what it looks like for us to create semi-permanent public art activations. And so if y'all take a look over here, the artist Trotter Alexander is in the house. Trotter, you mind standing up, raising your hand? He's right here. A little bit about Trotter. Me and Trotter have known each other for a little while now, and when we first met, I was in my writing bag and I was trying to come up with a comic book, and I asked him to illustrate it. That turned into him doing a mural at our art center when we were under construction. And now through the hard work that he put into his juried application, he was able to rise as the awarded artist. So I want to say thank you for your work, and it's been an honor to go through this creative process with you. Around 2:30, we are going to be doing tours of the panels. And so if you meet us at our table, which is right in the center of the space over here, we'll have a sign-up sheet with slots where you can participate in that tour. A little bit more about what we have going on today. We'll have music. We'll have some poets from YCA do their thing here. Kalia X is also in the house. Kalia's going to do her thing, rock the stage. And my best friend, Nombre Kari, is also going to be performing here. He grew up in a neighborhood as well on 41st and Langley. We went to King together, so we've walked to this train a million times. And so, I'm excited to see him rock the stage. So I want y'all to, have some energy for all the performers. We'll have some amazing DJs in the house. We'll have a skate demo. We'll still have the vendor marketplace going on, so shop. We have T-shirts that we're selling here as the Chicago Fashion Coalition and Fortune House and Southside Sanctuary collab. We're accepting donations over at the entrance for Southside Sanctuary. So if you got some, I feel like we all maybe got like 20, 40, 50, 100, $1,000 in our pocket. Come show some love. If you want to see some good work here, it takes money to operate, and we need that. We need that support. I also want to extend a thank you to Mayor Johnson for being here and your continued support, your office's support of this project and bringing things like this to life in the city. We need this. And I also want to extend my thanks to Alderwoman Dow. Again, as somebody that's lived here for my entire life, I'm happy to see this work getting done, and it's a pleasure to be a part of it. So I'm closing out these speeches, and just want to extend another thanks to everybody that came out. Y'all are beautiful, and this feels like I'm extremely grateful that we were able to bring this to life. From seeing this as a design on a PDF, and not knowing too much about what this was gonna take, to seeing all the hard work it took, it's a pleasure. I want to extend a thanks to Cecilia again for bringing me onto this project. It's an honor, and a thank you to our team. I'm excited to continue building with you all. Yeah, thank you.
Can we give a round of applause to all of our speakers today? And we would like to ask all of our speakers to please come up to the stage. We would also like to ask our build and design team to come up to the stage. We're about to cut a ribbon. We can come up here if you like. You're going to do it down there? You're going to leave me to stand up here behind the podium? I'm just going to be up here by myself? That's all right. All right, everybody, this is a historic moment in this neighborhood. This lot for many years was barren. There's life here now. I said there's life here now. I'm just gonna stand right here behind the mayor's podium. Y'all go ahead and cut that ribbon. Watch this. All right. From 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the Southside Sanctuary.